A number of mysterious unidentified drones have been sighted flying over 4 United States bases in Britain. According to the U.S. Air Force, small unmanned aerial systems continue to be spotted in the vicinity of and over 4 bases in England. It named the bases as RAF Lakenheath and R.A.F. Mildenhall, both of which are in Suffolk, RAF Feltwell in Norfolk, and RAF Fairford in Gloucestershire. This is the first time that drones have been seen at RAF Fairford, 130 miles away, where 4 US B-52 bombers are currently deployed as part of the Bomber Task Force 25-1. Small drones operating around and over RAF Lakenheath, RAF Mildenhall and RAF Feltwell on November 25th. Varying numbers of drones in different sizes and configurations was seen from November 20th to 24th. Who owns and operates these drones and what they are doing remains a mystery. But mystery deepened when on 26 November, U.S. Air Force issued an update reporting that small unmanned aerial systems continued to be spotted. The update included RAF Fairford among the bases experiencing incursions.
General Ryder, there have been a number of incidents in England with drones targeting U.S. bases, kind of swarming U.S. bases, challenging security. Do you believe they have hostile intent? Do you believe they were sent by a foreign adversary? What is happening what can you tell us about these drones?
What I would tell you, Jennifer, is that they are being actively monitored. Installation leaders have determined so far that none of these incursions impact the base residents, the facilities, or the assets that we have on those bases. We're, of course, continuing to work with host nation authorities and our mission partners to ensure the safety of our personnel, our facilities, and the equipment. The bottom line is it's something that we're going to take seriously. We're continuing to look into it, but as of right now has not had any significant mission impact.
Local media reported Parliament took up air and missile defense on November 27th. MP Nick Timothy, who represents the area around Lakenheath and Mildenhall, saying residents were concerned to hear aircraft being scrambled in the middle of the night to intercept them.
Not shoot them down.
Well, I won't get into force protection measures. We, of course, always maintain the right to defend ourselves if we deem something to be a threat. But again, we'll continue to work with the local host nation authorities there.
The incursion by drones at 4 different bases all in the United Kingdom cannot be by chance but by design. However, the mystery over drones flying over US base remains unraveled. Who owns and operates these drones that sent the shock amid security agencies is unanswered. Air Force, however, said, to date, installation leaders have determined that none of the incursions impacted base residents, facilities or assets. The Air Force is taking all appropriate measures to safeguard the aforementioned installations and their residents. The incidents in the UK come about a year after similar drone incursions cropped up at the US military bases, notably over Joint Base Langley Eustis, where the US Air Force's F-22 Raptors are based. Even now, nearly a year later, officials have yet to determine who was behind them.
It's linked to the drones that were sighted at 3 or 4 different locations back in December of last year that we reported on recently on the stateside.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate and draw unnecessary connections. Again, this is something that we'll look into. As you know, small UASs, drones, have become something that's, relatively common now across the landscape. It's something that the department has been looking closely at in terms of how it applies to our facilities, our personnel, whether it's in combat zones or outside of combat zones. But in terms of these particular incidents in the UK versus the ones in the States, again, I don't want to speculate that there's any connection.
British Ministry of Defence said in a statement, "We take threats seriously and maintain robust measures at defence sites. We are supporting the US Air Force response." Citing sources, PA Media reported that British troops have been drafted in to help the US Air Force find out who was responsible for the drones flying over its bases. The Times newspaper said about 60 military personnel have been deployed. US Air Force has not indicated what kind of defence it is employing, but as stated, we retain the right to protect our installations. UK airspace is controlled by the government agency, the Civilian Aviation Authority, much as US airspace in the purview of the Federal Aviation Administration. Military operators must work within these civilian frameworks, severely limiting the options commanders have for defending against such incursions. Because bases are frequently close to densely populated areas, those options are further limited.
To be those of hobbyists. Is that correct?
Again, it would be, premature to draw any conclusions. We've got to see what these are. I mean, it's entirely possible that it could be hobbyists or something else. We just got to look into it. So,
thanks for watching National Defense. Please do let us know from which part of the world you are watching this video. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.